Welcome back to Race Week. You know, next we're going to be taking a look at the excitement for the late model streets at the half-mile race facility in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. But before we do that, we want to remind you that the management of the Stafford Motor Speedway has a brand new color brochure. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is drop them a line. Inside the brochure, it's got the history of the Stafford Motor Speedway, plus a look at what's in store for 1988. The SK Modifieds, the late model streets, and a whole lot more. Coming up at the premier half-mile race facility. Let's go now and take a look at late model street stock racing at its best at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
Late model street stocks have always been the fans' favorite at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Right down at the start of the 1987 season, the racing action proved to be highly competitive. Tony Sylvester was dialed in on the outside with car number 38. George Brayton gets a little bit out of shape with car number 21. Brayton goes around, he corrects the automobile, and the field will scramble for position here. Chuck Doherty dives down low underneath Phil Rondo in turn number 1. Cody gets out of shape with car number 90. Chris Konopka comes in and makes contact with car number 99. But Tony Sylvester holds off the challenges. We're in the final laps of competition. Tony Sylvester is out in front. The Tiger Lee construction, number 38, will set the pace. Chuck Doherty is moving in. The final lap decides the winner in this event, and Tony Sylvester will hold on and secure the victory with car number 38. More great racing action was expected out of the street stocks, and the month of June had exactly that. In a turn number 1, they'd be 3 and 4 wide in the competition here. Leo Adams would work his way to the front. Now Norm Plantier comes on strong with car number 14. Plantier goes 3 wide in a turn number 1. Car number 66, Cliff Stakey, moves to the bottom side of the racetrack and picks up a spot. But it is Rick Shawn to secure the win with car number 8X. Middle of the pack, the story is told here in this, the late model streets, during the month of July. Towards the front of the field, Danny Lavoie is coming on strong with car number 6. Middle of the pack, Rondo looks good. Rick Shawn goes to the outside, and Norm Plantier is looking good on the bottom side of the racetrack. Rondo dials in down low, and Rondo picks up a spot. Plantier goes sliding to the center of the infield. He will regroup and move towards the front of the field. Chuck Zantarski and Rick Shawn is involved in this one, as Tony Sylvester is now back in command of the event. Jimmy Ward puts the Booten & Sons number 22 towards the front, but Tony Sylvester will pick up yet another victory at the Stafford Motor Speedway. By July, things were starting to settle down just a bit in the late model streets, and out in the front of the field was car number 79 for Chuck Doherty. Phil Rondo was reeling him in, staying glued to the back bumper of the automobile. As Chuck Zantarski was moving in, it would be Chuck Doherty to visit the winner's circle. John Guy Poulin would lead the field in a turn number 1, and this the month of July at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Cliff Stakey was already starting to reel him in, and Norm Plantier was looking impressive on the inside. Butler would go down low on Phil Rondo with car number 19. Rondo and Butler would be able to regroup and head back towards the front of the field, when suddenly Rondo would go spinning in front of Leo Adams. Back towards the front of the field, it was now Chuck Doherty being pressured heavily by Norm Plantier. Plantier would go to the outside. Cliff Stakey would go spinning. Phil Rondo down low. Rondo in command of the event. Rich Wood was coming on strong with car number 6, but Phil Rondo would set in the winner's circle. Poulin leads the field off turn number 4. Rick Dyke moves in to try to contend as Cliff Stakey sets in position number 3. Norm Plantier starts to break away from the pack, and he will move into the 4th spot. Off the 4th turn, it is Cliff Stakey in command of the event. Norm Plantier out in front. Wade Gagner goes spinning with car number 7. He goes to the outside, and the field will scramble for position here. Off the turn, it is now Chuck Doherty back to take over position number 1. Norm Plantier battles with Phil Rondo in his quest to get back to the front of the field. But Chuck Doherty leads the field off the 4th turn and down to the line. Doherty secures a victory at the Stafford Motor Speedway. This time, it is Herb Bennett Jr. from Stafford Springs, Connecticut to set the pace with car number 16. He's in a turn number 1. Chuck Zantarski tries to go low. He will try to take over position number 1. Norm Plantier and Cliff Stakey swap a little bit of paint as Phil Rondo dials in on the inside. Zantarski out in front. Chuck Doherty makes the move down underneath Stakey. Rick Shawn goes to the outside. Wade Gagner waits in the wings. It is Phil Rondo and Chuck Zantarski to hold on to try to challenge towards the front. But Norm Plantier will take down yet another victory at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Butler works his way to the inside initially at the start of Rick Guile as they head into turn number 1. It is Butler to lead for a short time when suddenly Chuck Doherty takes over the lead. Doherty holds on and picks up another win at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Tom Fox and Bob Fedora lead him into turn number 1. Doherty's in the middle of the pack along with Cliff Stakey, and they'll try to get back towards the front of the field. Off the turn, Wade Gagner dialed in. He moves to the inside. Rick Shawn is on the outside, battling lap after lap. Shawn maintains position number 1, and he will secure yet another victory at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Another exciting round of late model competition at the Stafford Motor Speedway proved to be highly competitive in the month of September. A massive mix-up saw Art Caruso and Bob Peer. Could think he would go to the outside, come back across, and make contact with Chris Wood. Chuck Doherty was dialing in and heading towards the front of the field. But Leo Adams would dive down low underneath Wade Gagner, somehow make it by as Cody would make contact with the wall. Off the fourth turn, Rondo down low. Leo Adams on the outside. Lap after lap, the three would battle, but impressively, the win would go to Leo Adams. Final events of 1987 would end with a Sunday afternoon format at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Brian McCarthy would go down low as Cody would go spinning with car number 89. Butler would manage to squeak through, and so wouldn't the remainder of the field. Tommy Fern dives down low with car number 92, and he will pick up a spot 4 wide off the turn. Here comes Zor Plantier. He dials in down low underneath Pareto as they come off the turn. Plantier is on the inside, off the turn and down to the line. Pretty much evenly matched when suddenly car number 71, Ted Chalmers, hand grenades and hits the wall in the front straightaway. Chuck Doherty battles to try to get back in contention for position number 2, but Rondo is still in command, and he will pick up yet another victory.
Well, what about those late model streets at Stafford? We told you they put on a great show, and they certainly did. You know, next we're going to take a walk around the room here at Auto Parts Swap and Sell and look at what some of the vendors have to offer. But right now, we'll go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll show you more of Auto Parts Swap and Sell.